Hey guys, Foxdrop here. Today we're going to be taking a look on how to use a new practice tool to become a godlike Lee Sin. If you guys remember, about a year ago I did a video on how to be a godlike Lee Sin, and I outlined all of the specific advanced mechanics that you need to pull off as a Lee Sin player and practice in order to become really bloody good at it. Well, since the new practice tool has come out, it's really easy for you to practice these mechanics. So I'm going to tell you guys how to set up the environment for you guys to grind it out, practice, and become an amazing, awesome Lee Sin player. So first things first, because this practice mode is a new feature, you might not be aware of how to set it up, so I'll quickly show you how to do that now. So to set up your practice mode game, first and foremost, you're going to need the new client as you're seeing here. If you don't have it already, there should be a little button on your old client where you can click on and it should update. Once you've got it, click on this button on the top left here that says play, move over to the training tab up here, and then select practice tool. Now to set up a practice mode like the one we are doing here, just skip everything on this screen, click on start game, press yes, find Lee Sin, there he is, lock him in, and then you get your game. And now that we are into our practice mode custom game, the settings that you want to enable here on the left hand side, just want to toggle this auto refresh cooldowns. That means whenever you use an ability, you don't have a massively long cooldown. Set yourself up to level 6 as well, so that you've unlocked your ultimate, which you can do over here. Give yourself 10k gold and a sight stone so you can practice your ward hops. Despawn your minions with this toggle here, they just get in the way, you don't need them here. And lastly, of course, we'll be adding in our target dummies. So that will be Shift B to add someone in and Shift M to take someone away. So now that we have the foundations, the basics out there, let's get on with the first mechanic on how to be a godlike Lee Sin. First things first, the very basic bread and butter move for your Lee Sin is the Insec, named after the professional player Insec, who first brought light to this move in professional play. Before we get on into it though, guys, you do want to make sure you've got your smart cast on your W and your R. This means that you can ward hop really fast and then kick someone away really fast as well. Outside of that as well, actually, you need to make sure you're smart casting your ward placements, and this is kind of up to you what you feel comfortable doing. For example, you could just have it on your number 2 key and then make sure that's smart casted. For me, I actually have it smart cast on a mouse button, so for that I just scroll down, toggle the little items option here, and then quick cast item 6 mouse button 5, which is the side button on my mouse here. So whenever I, whoops, don't want to do that, whenever I put my mouse button, boom, I put a ward down. So this is what you're gonna need to do for the Insec. Ignore this ward here, I probably shouldn't put it down there, but whatever. We're gonna spawn a target dummy on this area. This is going to act as your enemy champion. And then for the Insec, what you need to do is you're going to land your Q on the target dummy, you're going to jump behind them, and then you're going to kick them out. So just in slow motion, it would look like this. Q the target, Q towards them, ward behind them, jump to it, kick. So just to show you it in full speed, what you need to practice, put your target dummy down, Q towards him, Q, ward hop, boom. There you go. Try and get that down as smoothly as possible, but generally speaking, it's quite a simple one. That's all you got to do for that. The second advanced Lee Sin mechanic here is called the ladder Insec, or I like to call the ladder Insec. It's very similar to the previous tip, the Insec, but this one involves another party. Essentially what it is, say you've got a team fight here, say that this target dummy in the back right here is your target. Really hard to land your Q on this person because he's grouped up by allies. So instead what you can do is you can fire your Q at someone next to them, land this Q, ward hop behind them, and kick your target out. Useful tip by the way, if you ever run out of wards for your sight stone, just do Shift S onto the spawn and Shift S back. Easy. So we'll try and practice this one in real time, so we'll put down some target dummies to try and symbolize a team fight, and again we'll aim for this one in the back. Now sometimes as well when you're trying to do this move, you'll find yourself in a position where your ward hop just won't cover it. So for example, say this guy down here is a target I want to kick out and I'm in this position, I won't be able to reach him with just one W. Like I can Q towards him, I could put my ward down here, and then even if I get to here, I can't kick him into my team. So what you can do for this ladder Insec is to combo your flash with your ward hop as well. So you'll Q to your first target, W closer to your second target, and then flash behind them for that little bit extra distance and then kick them back into you. So just as a slow-mo here to explain what I'm doing, you Q your first target, jump to them, W closer to your victim at the end, and then flash behind them and kick them out. So let's try that again, but in real time. That is a lot better. I accidentally gave myself 10,000 gold during that somehow as well. Wasn't too smooth, some more practice is needed, but I won't bore you with that. But generally speaking, that's a ladder insect for you. The next advanced mechanic for this video is going to be your flash animation cancelling. Flash animation cancelling basically just means that your enemy team doesn't have as long to react to your abilities because they don't see the ability wind up. You can use this most prominently on your ultimate, also situationally on your E as well. So we're going to spawn our dummy here to try this tip out. Essentially all you got to do is you got to kick someone and then flash opposite the direction that you want to kick your target. It may sound a bit confusing, but essentially we'll kick this person and then we'd use our flash after we'd hit R and flash behind them so that they would go flying backwards. So let me show you that in real time what I mean. So we're going to R and then we're going to flash. Wasn't quite so smooth, so let me try that one again. And there you have the R flash. Next up we have the E flash, which is pretty much the same as your ultimate one, except this just means that you have a lower wind up on your E so that you can flash into someone and immediately slow them. So specifically like that. This means that as soon as you land, you slow them down, they don't have any time to react to you. This next tip is Q smiting, essentially clearing the path for your Q to land on an enemy target by smiting the minion that's in the way. So this one doesn't really need much explanation, so I jump right into it. You spawn your target dummy. We'll use this little minion here as the blighter that's in our way. We'll spawn the target dummy behind. We're going to throw our Q out, and as the Q's midair, we'll smite the minion. There we go. Q smite, easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. It's gonna be useful when you're like jumping in on a lane trying to land your Q and there are minions in the way or something like that. You can imagine when this is useful. It's pretty simple, kind of easy to get down. There you have it. The next advanced CSIM mechanic here is the Q dodge Q or the Q gap closer W Q. This one's a little bit harder to practice in the practice mode because it relies on dodging skill shots that might be coming your way, but you can still practice the fluidity of your ward hop movement. So we're going to put our test dummy down and essentially we're going to land our Q like this, then we're going to ward hop to the sides or put our ward down first, then ward hop to it, and then, well, we would then follow our Q, but it timed out because we were too slow. So let's try to do it a little bit faster in real time here. That was a little bit too fast. Okay, third time's a charm. That one wasn't particularly fast as far as the execution goes, but imagine that that target dummy had fired out like a charm or it was like an Elise cocoon or something like that. Like the Elise cocoon, you'd land and you'd be stunned. If it was like a tornado from Janna, you wouldn't actually even be able to land the Q. Same for the charm with Ari. So it's nice to dodge skill shots as you're flying through with your Q. In addition to that, this tip is also useful if you Q someone and then they say like flash away from you or something like that. If you've Q'd them and then they get out of range for you to follow the Q, you can just ward hop forward and then follow the Q to extend that Q activation range. Now before we get on to this penultimate tip, boys and girls, I just want to say thanks for checking the video out. I hope you are enjoying it. Don't forget to show me some love if you are enjoying it. Leave me a comment down below if you want to see different champions with this kind of style of video. But either way, moving on to the next point, and in my opinion this is probably the trickiest one to get down and one which you'll probably spend the most time practicing, is going to be the kick collateral moves. Now, like I say, this tip is probably the hardest one to practice and will take a lot of practice. And honestly, in this kind of practice custom mode, it might be a little bit hard to really nail it because in the real game, you'll be doing it against moving targets. Still, generally speaking, it's going to be good practice for you to just set up like multiple scenarios. Like say you've got one that looks like this and for you to just practice how you would get this kick collision off. So for example, say I wanted to get a collision onto this guy, I could maybe like Q in here and then flash over and kick or something like that. You know, just practice loads of different combinations like that. Try and think of scenarios in your head where you could set up these target dummies to accurately reflect a situation that would happen in a real game. Like say for example, you've got an enemy sitting on a ward here and his team is trying to bait in this bush, also sitting on a ward. So then maybe you can swing through and you can just do like a little cheeky kick like that. Let's try and make another situation here. So say for example, the enemy team is sieging down mid, they've got people in this kind of position here, and then they've got someone like their front line or someone who's poking who's getting a little bit aggro over here. Yes, Mr. Tower, thank you, that is an enemy. So for example, what you could do as your first move is you could queue over to this target here, jump to these guys, and then try and set up a kick collateral like this. Instead, maybe you can do something a little bit more smooth, a little bit less expected, and just jump over the wall and flash in and kick them. Now this kick collateral can also be used in conjunction with the ladder insect with some really spicy plays. Another example, maybe you've got people defending the tower, you got one person here, and you could try to do the same thing again. As you can see by all the wards down here, I keep trying this and I keep failing. It's bloody difficult. Now, if you had your team around you in that situation, that would be probably pretty nice double kill. And the way I even did it there wasn't that smooth, so, you know, more practice is needed. But generally speaking, this kind of practice, really good stuff. Now, the last tip for this video here is your execute combos. Essentially, it means that you just throw everything at the target before you then kick them and follow through with your Q. So let's do the really basic combo right here. Say you're sitting in the bush and someone just walks up to you and face check you. All you gotta do is just throw everything at them. So just do all this shit and then kick them and then follow through with your Q. Something like that. However, what do we want to do if the person doesn't quite face check us, which is probably gonna be more likely to happen? So say they're a little bit further away like this. Well, it's pretty much the same combo, except you then want to use your W first of all to get close to the target. So the smooth combo in this situation is to put your Q on them, ward hop forward, and then do this shit like that. Anyway, that's all I think I need to show you guys today for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. You know, and he's a fun champion, so if you suck at him, I know it's pretty depressing because you just think to yourself, I wish I was good enough to play this guy and not lose elo. Hey, maybe practice mode is the answer to your prayers. Anyway, boys and girls, that's all we got for this video today. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. You can leave that cheeky thumbs up if you did. You can drop me a comment, like I say, any suggestions for future champions or what you thought about this video. Yeah, most importantly, boys and girls, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more of this kind of stuff. And I'll see you in my next video.